get a lot of money, and that's what makes Superstore so appealing, is there's so much cash. So by like 2 hours in, everyone was going back to Superstore and hangars for the most part, from what we saw.
Well, we're getting our event started here with one of the players we were talking to beforehand. Kagad dropping in. These teams, you can see the timer top left, 3 hours to put up their best 3 games, and the top 4 teams after those 3 hours will get an additional hour to try and take that top spot. So dropping here into the airport, going hangars. We'll get our tournament underway.
I mean, Clint, what's the play, man? You want to get down fast, grab your gear, grab your guns, win those opening fights, get cash, get your loadout, right? That's it, in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think for the most part,
I'm playing on right.
it'll be hangars or super, like I said, but it shifts a little bit depending on like how you do earlier, right? Like, do you want to drop hangars, which is a little bit safer than store, post maybe a big number or two, and then get crazy at Superstore? It'll be interesting to see how these guys play through it, but he will already in trouble as his chopper is getting smoked. But you can see they're both fighting in these primary hotspots, and there's just so many easy rotations, whether it's over to storage, to boneyard, over to hangars. Like, there's so many hotspots around this part of the map. You could just have a monster kick off the game.
Yeah, we'll just go over there then.
Yeah, I think we're still expecting most people to be landing in towards Superstore and hangars. Again, like central position, easy to get vehicles around there. There's usually that ATV, or the SUV at the front of Superstore, so that gives you tons of options to just get in and out. And so far, not a bad start for the boys. I want to say Vapula. How we pronouncing this name, chaps?
Yes, it's Vapula. I'm trying to think of who did he play with in the most recent MFAM Gauntlet, because he made a run. I thought he was playing with like Kaiser. I'd have to go check back and see who he was teaming with, but they had a really good performance. Like, they were in contention for like bracket play and stuff throughout the course of that. So he is nasty. I have to see a little bit of his gameplay, about a week or two ago.
This is a great start, man. And again, God on the other side. I saw him win the Syndicate Sundays alongside, I think it was Juki's, and I think it was Shiv actually who managed to pick up the win there. So he's another very, very good first-person shooter player. He's got a lot of experience on PUBG, so he's a battle royale guy at heart. And FIFA Kill, we heard Scope shout him out at the start of this one. So I have no idea what to expect out of FIFA Kill. It's the first time I've ever seen him play, but he's got a lot of subs. Got an absolute beamer there with a Bruin, so I'm expecting good things.
Oh, in the building next to you.
One thing that's like a little bit interesting is it looks like they kind of, so usually what we'll see in these formats is like you will see some splitting, obviously. A lot of what we'll see in trios, like a 1 and 2 split, and the 2 play a little bit safer. They'll have the money. They can continue to buy somebody back. That's like what I saw a lot with Juki's teams. Like, Juki would be the guy going solo dolo, just rolling around trying to drop bombs, and they can get him back in the action if he ran into a tough squad. But you don't usually see teams splitting off the drop. I mean, typically you try to get loadout together, you get a lot of cash, and then you start to split. But from what we've seen here, they had kind of like a hangars and super split, and that is phenomenally uncommon.
Ballsy. Yeah, because we saw yeah, he was hanging out towards airport. Yeah, no, good call, man. That was a ballsy start, but man, he's managed to pick up some great weapons off the rip. There's a Bruin and a car just to work with before even getting their loadouts, but they're mad cash to work with already. Like, this is such a good start. That's like 6 kills minimum already. Like, this is a good look for Gogod.
Yeah, I thought Infinity Ward was trolling when like everyone was complaining about the Bruin, and then when Season 5 came out, there's just so many more Bruins as floor loot. even one with a hollow that's like become really popular with top players. Like, all right, come on.
It's like these game-winning weapons are like, oh, you just pick it up off the floor, cool. You have to change. Why get your loadout? You still want perks? That's fine. Yeah, this is already like it's Season 5, man. I mean, I can't lie to you, Clint. Like, I haven't played Season 5. I've only been watching Season 5. I've just been so busy with CDL stuff. But hit these shots, God. That's another 2 kills your name, brother. Good stuff anyway. But yeah, man, it's just the lethality of the weapons right now in Warzone. Like, everything feels so dangerous.
Yeah, it's like, it's just with the toughest thing about the meta with the Bruin is like, if you get caught, like, even if you're in like an okay position, if you get caught and someone beams you, like, you don't have a chance to react. It's almost like when you get sniped, like you get headshot, you're like, all right, well, I'm dead, nothing to do, no ability to finesse. Like, you get smoked so fast. And that's the one thing with the nerf that I haven't really noticed yet, is if it is really, really long range, maybe you have a little bit more of a chance to do that. But God does go down, and this is what I was kind of talking about with Top Airport. That, like, this is not a scenario you would find yourself in before Season 5 with people's Top Airport at this point in time. It's just not a thing. No one's taking a chopper up there right now, but because of the grapple lines, like, it's just a tough fight at this point of the game.
Yeah, these guys have got the snipes, it looks like. That was a clean headshot, and I got to bring him down. Oh, good ears from Vap. That's going to be a C4 not to get the kill, but that's a lovely bit of work to stay alive. And again, this looks like loadouts now. Bruin MP5, Clint, good call. Didn't see what perks anyone's running, but like I don't expect anyone to be running anything too crazy outside of Overkill Ghost. I've seen a couple of restocks now and then, but like in your opinion, Clint, in your seriously seasoned opinion, are you going to be seeing many Overkill classes, restock classes or anything outside of the usual?
For me, it really depends on what type of lobby you get. Like, you can usually tell in the first couple minutes if you have what we kind of call a bot lobby. Like, if you pop a UAV and there's 40 dots on it, no one's got Ghost, you kind of know this is a lobby where you can like go at world record pace. If that's the case, I think restock is godlike. The ability to have stuns in a fight, you could 1v3 with ease. If the lobby is a little bit more difficult, I just think Ghost is a must personally. It's just so good. You don't realize, especially not even just like the UAV side of it, which obviously you hear UAVs a lot, but the heartbeat monitor, which is like the most common secondary for a lot of these players, like there's nothing more frustrating than someone camping in a corner with a heartbeat monitor, and because you don't have Ghost, they know right where you are and kill you. It is maddening.
And it's so easy to pick up as well. It's such a common grab. I will say this is an absolute harvest to start this game off here. Like, this is a great way to get it going. We do tend to see what the first few matches for these players are quite fun. You know, you have a couple of rough ones here or there, but like for this squad, Gargod, Vap, and FIFA Kill here, this is a smoking right off the rip. And you name it, dead silence, everything. Cash is looking absolutely fine. They've got their loadouts. Like, this is a good look. I mean, where they go from here, where they go next, that's going to be the surprise. That's going to be the interesting thing to see now. It's like, where do they go? They've already cleaned up Superstore. They've cleaned up airports. Now they're cleaning up these buildings. Where do you go? Do you want to go south? Do you want to go towards what? Like,
well, and that's what like you kind of heard. I can't remember who said it in the interview, and I kind of mentioned earlier. We talk about RNG, and that basically just means randomness. Like, that's just a part of any BR. Like, what is the circle going to be? What's the drop going to be? What kind of lobby are you going to get? And like reducing that. There's only so much of the randomness you can reduce, right? So you have to do your best to deal with it. And like finding the best rotation, some players are better at doing it than others. Obviously UAVs can do it, but you have to just based on the angle of the plane, the angle of the drop, just reading certain scenarios and trying to find where the action is sometimes what separates like the elite from some of the top players. Like, you got to hunt the action down, and it can be tricky at times.
Well, here we go. Time to get hunting, boys. You got yourselves a vehicle, got themselves a trophy system on top of the car. Now you're going to find yourself a few red dots over towards Superstore. In we go. Get your MP5s out. Get your Bruins out. Let's get in the mix. And you know what? Like, this is, all jokes aside, this is looking like a very friendly lobby so far. I think these boys, they're going to be going all the way. They're in a friendly lobby.
And that's the big thing, at least in my experience, like casting a lot of this recently, is like, yes, maybe some teams get more easier lobbies, but what it boils down to is like everyone's going to get a couple of those, right? Everyone's going to get a handful of lobbies they can cruise through. It's just going to happen. You have to take advantage of those lobbies. You have to drop big numbers in that game. If you don't, you're not going to win. Like, it's as simple as that. You cannot choke. You cannot fall short on the games where you need to drop 60 to 70 kills, or even more than that in some scenarios. You've got to do it. And this looks to be one of those lobbies that they should be able to drop a bomb. They got to take advantage of it.
Big fan of their work so far. All right, on board now with another team. Trimax.
Yeah. I'm doing Max.
He and his squad, and I cannot identify the language just yet. Caleb, this may be one for you. Where are these guys from?
For some reason, my brain remembered Trimax being an English speaker, but I'm very wrong about that.
Well, everyone in Europe speaks so much English, man. I mean,
I guess everybody does speak English. That's right. That's the American in me talking.
I can tell you, as a British man, when you go to Europe, everyone speaks better English than you do. Like, it's just such a weird thing, man. When you're in France and everyone's English is absolutely perfect, you can't speak a word of it. It's just it's a terrible experience. I can tell you, it's a bad feeling.
They are from the Germany, Austria, Switzerland area.
That does look distinctly German, yeah.
Is Isaac playing in this? I think they were a Polish team in the last gauntlet that did really well.
Yeah.
Izaku? Yeah. With the 3 O's.
Izaku. I think I called him Isaac when I guessed.
His name is.
Okay, well, that makes it a little bit better. Yeah, no, they did really well. I think they might have fell a little bit short on day 2, but they were solid. They were solid for sure too. Like the couple of EU players that did well were like him and I can't remember if it was Kazar or Kaiser, but they were really strong as well. Him and like Splash Cod were nasty.
Setting explosive.
Bad looks already, though, for the squad. One player downstairs. Hanky gets cleaned up. You got yourself a full threat level in this bounty. So Strain Max, he's going to be on your screen. He's going to be holding up stairs now, just trying to watch these angles. There's a couple of players nearby. And this is not what you really want in these kind of kill race scenarios. You do want to be mobile. You want to be picking up more kills than not. And sitting themselves upstairs in a situation like this, I mean, this is just eating away at the clock. This is eating away at potential kills you're going to be having here. I mean, Clint, what do you do to get out of this situation? You just hunt this player down, go big or go home, and then get back out on the road.
Well, yeah, I mean, they need the money. You don't get a whole lot from avoiding this threat, but it looks like they were put in a tough spot early because there's 84 left and they're over by Stadium. So I'm guessing they died off drop and then we're trying to regain, at least is what I'm thinking. And there's just, I don't know what you try to do here. You got to kind of hope these guys make a mistake and swarm in. You can get some easy kills because they don't have loadout. The good thing I think I saw on one of the teammates was an Origin. And that might actually be one of the most insane changes to season 5. Is like the foul is floor loot was frustrating. The Origin is also maddening. Like the speed at which you die at a close range, it's like a 2-pump, and it feels like a 1-pump. You just blow up. The thing is disgusting. So if he has that in hand, I think he's hoping they try to get a push here and they can get out of it. But yeah, I mean, you nailed it, Miles. This is not ideal. I mean, you're just milking time off the clock. The lobby's getting smaller and smaller, and you're trapped like a rat inside a fire.
Yeah, this is a bad look. However, they do survive the bounties. A little bit of cash comes through. The second cluster strike now. Like, who's throwing these clusters at them? There's the kill. There's the final team wipe. But another cluster strike on top of this position. This could be like a fourth party trying to get involved in this fight.
What was that guy doing? Like, he literally just ran up the stairs like there was nobody here. Like, is he okay?
Poor guy was like, where are my teammates? Runs upstairs, finds himself shot in the face. Again, trying to just find themselves something here in this situation is not a good look. Strain Maxi, get yourselves out of here. Loadout's going to come through in just a moment. That's going to be something they can look for. Heartbeat sensor on your screen as well. So yeah, I mean, this is a slow one. These guys want to pick up the pace a little bit if they do want to keep in the contention there. I mean, what do we see in the last? The big difference in the team so far is that last squad we saw, Gargod's team, they were sitting at what, 20-something kills off the drop. And these guys have struggled just a little bit to get involved. But hey, everyone's got another chance to find more games here and now in Twitch Rivals.
Well, let's go check out Grayless' team here. Currently have not registered any points, but chat, you've been asking. Here you go. The fan favorites.
Nice shots.
Yeah, that's a bit of work there. I mean, Clint, have you seen the FAMAS has had some nice change to it? That thing is looking dangerous at range.
Yeah, I haven't messed around with it yet. It's weird because like on back on Blackout, like I loved early ABR and then the Swordfish, like the burst guns were really fun. I just haven't really messed with them too much in this game because they haven't been as good as a lot of the automatic rifles or LMGs. But curious to see if it gets to that point because there was like few things more satisfying than Blackout. Like a good healthy 2-burst with a Swordfish felt so good.
There's pings of the armor as well. They're like, yeah, right. Like, I am brilliant. You hear that? Dude, that's it. Of all people, they're like, I was watching Legion, like a clip from Legion of all people using the FAMAS, and I was like, okay, that weapon looks very good. Like a long barrel in there, but here we go. At Grayless, you got 2 of your teammates are down now. This is a dangerous situation. I think do you just let yourself die there? You go to the gulag and get back into the fight.
Oh no, go! I want to see his gulag.
Cut through. Over to the gulag we go.
And I think they ran into, that's an example of, I mean, they ran into a sweaty team. They ran into a tough team, and that's going to happen in some of these games. Can you get out of that situation? There, unfortunately, they had the high ground, but you could just tell, I think, based on the shots and the movement for the players they were fighting, that was a competent squad for sure.
Gas the rooftop, Bruin sweaty boys. That's exactly what you warned us about, Clint. And they were there.
The whole team in the gulag at once.
Well, the good thing is hopefully they can call out for each other, which is I still don't understand why that's a thing, but it'll make it a little bit easier to get out of this for sure.
Here we go. Oh, it's a carbine fight as well. This is great. A Grayless. Here we go, dude. He managed to get a tag. Trying to slow this down with a nade. There's another tag. This guy's been on no HP for so long, and there it is. 1 down, 2 to go. Can they get back in the fight?
Wait, so then the update that went out this morning changed the gulag because they said they were going to start changing it weekly, and it was over to pistols and shotguns. It looks like it's back to snipers, or
yeah, there might be, and also that's 3 for 3. That's the whole team coming back within what, a minute of each other.
Bude teďka loadout, můžeme klidně počkat, borci.
There's a scab they can do, but it's right where they just died.
Šel bych tam, zbytečně.
Yeah, I would just float for loadout 100%. Like, worry, get your guns first.
Yeah, 30 seconds is not a lot of time to waste. Oh, that's interesting. Eyes are on. Actually, it looks like two of them actually already hit the ground, so
Já můžu vzít tu lupu, když tam padnu.
this guy's going to be staying up high, trying to find intel. That's not good. That's a down. That's an instant kill. Yeah, they went straight back for their gear, Clint.
Yeah, like, I don't know why. I mean, they knew they were a good team. And a lot of times in these tournaments, like, you have to find all the kills you can, but usually, especially if you're trying to regain, you know there's like a really, solid team in a certain position. You kind of avoid that and like work the other side of the map, or at least wait until you have your gear. You don't just drop right back on unless their mentality was, hey, we've got these 3 hours. Let's full send in. If we die, we die. We'll restart. I'm not sure.
On board now with Recurrent, our reigning champ. 14 kills already with a decent amount of folks left in the lobby. Still be interesting to see how many the rest of his team has got, but yoink, that's going to be that. Felt like
I saw it P5. I seen it P5.
Yeah, dude, but look at this. Again, this is what we're going to be seeing all day long. Brewing laser beams from start to finish.
He told me dualies. So maybe they just mean dualies off the rip, then that makes sense. Then they swap to the MP5 because that makes a whole lot more sense to me if that's what they're doing.
This is a healthy game, man. That was 14 kills for Recurrent. This is Ubika with 13.
Who was it that we interviewed that said what he said? The bro, like destroyer of all worlds.
God, it's like it is the destroyer.
He's not wrong. He's not. It's just crazy because like it's insane to me because the Graw was so good. The Graw was so good that like a lot of people were complaining it's too easy to laser a range. It's this good at that. It's all purpose. The mobility's great, and somehow the Bruin is way better. It's just it's nuts. It's nuts.
It's just, what is it? It's just, who do we need to speak to, Clinton? Who can we talk to? We know some people. We know enough people who make the game.
Well, then I was surprised too that like the nerf that came into the Broom was like damage range, because that's not the problem. The problem is that it acts like an AR, has the mobility of an AR, and it's an absolute laser beam that doesn't even need grip. It's just beams, man. They die so fast.
You got 60 bullets in the mag, which is as big as the largest assault rifle.
Yeah, that's the only downside to the 60-round mag, by the way. It gives a plus to everything, and the only downside is you have 60 bullets. Okay. All right, I'll be okay. By the way, I think for me on our video we're watching, you guys might be like a second or two ahead of me, just FYI. So if I sound a little bit delayed or something, I apologize. But you were reacting to that guy getting lasered before I did. I was like, whoa.
It was like you were like describing it, and he's like, here's a demonstration. Figure one, direct your attention to the top of the screen. And he's down again.
Yeah, Frank goes down again. They don't have enough cash to get him back. So there is a chance of me. You can't see at the moment because obviously the screen's there, but they had a bounty underway. They may have been able to find something there. But back on with God. And already we talked about this one being quite a friendly lobby for them, full of hitchhikers with their thumbs up, trying to get trying to get somewhere, and already they're getting cleaned up. 18 kills for God on his own. I wonder how the rest of the team's doing.
I gotta talk to them. I mean, I legitimately don't know if I've ever seen a team split super and hangers off drop. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And maybe I'm crazy. It's happened. And I just haven't seen the actual drop because we hop around a lot in some of these tournaments. But you said it's ballsy. That's like the definition of it.
Yeah, I mean, he did tell us in the interviews, like, we like to do a 2-1 split. We're trying out some new things. But, like, yeah, that is a very vicious start.
2-1 split's good. That's great. But you don't usually do it on drop.
Yeah, like, this is very ambitious.
Well, it's working.
What do we got?
Yo, we're gonna be right on these guys.
You can hear the comms, like they're trying to hunt down their chopper. Oh, this is going to be hard to make the shot work. Did he do it? Yeah, he did with the precision airstrike. All those trees, there's so many things that can actually clip on. Ooh, player behind him as well.
Yeah, I think the goal there was just to at least destroy the chopper.
Oh, he got him.
Oh, wow. I was hoping, I mean, what is happening there?
Who knows?
So you took out the apparition.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think the goal there was just destroy the vehicle so they can't run away because his two teammates were pushing up on it. But to get a knock in there as well is just gravy. You don't get a ton of knocks usually with airstrikes.
That was good, man. That was really nice timed, and yeah, it really worked out. And again, the Kilo, another weapon that we're going to be seeing a lot of today, still very, very sort of well-rounded, not quite as dominant, I think, as the Grau at range. But I don't know, Clint, what's the thing about the Kilo at this point in time, and why is that such a viable option still?
Well, I think that's like number 2 behind the Bruin. I think it's a laser. It shoots very straight, which is like the number 1 thing for this. And when people sometimes wonder why, like, maybe you don't use some of the ARs that might be a little bit better in multiplayer. It's just you're fighting at ranges that you don't fight in multiplayer, right? Like you're fighting like sniper ranges half the time on Warzone. Like the fights are very, very far away. So you need something that's going to be a beam, and it's a beam. And the thing that's really nice about it too is it just honestly just hits hard. It may not as hard as the Bruin, but it hits harder than the Graw. Like if you hit your shots, it chunks. The only real downside to it is it doesn't really have the bullet velocity of the Graw or the Bruin. So if you're trying to, let's say, shoot a parachuter out of the sky or something like that, and you have to lead it, that's a lot harder with the Kilo for sure.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great. Just over 2 hours on the clock, and already FIFA kills hitting that 25 kill game. So it was 18, maybe 19 now for Gargod. I mean, this is a huge first game. There's number 26. FIFA kill.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I mean, yeah, what were you saying at the beginning of this wave? Like, it'll probably be, yeah, you're probably looking at 60 to 70 kill games for the top teams. So I think there might be somebody that erupts over that, but then that with the bonus, you're looking at what, like somewhere around 85 to 90 in that ballpark is probably going to be what gets it done.
Yeah, the 60 kill games do seem to kind of be the ones that will stick, even with the top teams. Those are the games that matter the most, but oh dear.
Yeah,
They're finished off.
And they look like they might be on like, they're on 75 or so, I'm pretty sure. So this is a bomb.
Yep.
They're getting gassed. That was an absolute bomb to start the day, and I will almost guarantee that will be our highest score. That will be our highest score. So that's what, a 99 to kick things off?
That's insane. Woo. Holy crap.
And you knew kind of early, like when you were watching their split and the fights they were getting in, that was one of those lobbies they needed to go huge, and well, that was the definition of it.
Yep, that was tremendous. Gotaga now. French superstar. A man who we've seen time and time again in these competitions, not necessarily doing great, but he's always a player who he loves to experiment with his classes. We've seen him run some weird stuff. We've seen some like short barrel M4s instead of MP5s. Like he loves to experiment with the gunsmith, ability in Modern Warfare, which is something I've loved about the game. I've loved the fact that you can customize your weapon so much, and it's cool seeing what players do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a question of sometimes like who's going to find the next big thing, like the next Bruin. Like the Bruin, it's not like that thing suddenly came around. It's been in the game for quite some time. Just no one really tried it because a lot of times LMGs like lack mobility and just aren't great to use in a lot of scenarios. But somebody tried it, and now it is in everyone's hands for the most part. So you never know. Someone will try something a little unorthodox. It might be the next meta.
Yeah, we see this with the competitive scene as much as well, where everyone follows suit, like what seems to be the best weapon, what seems to work out the most, and every now and then somebody will kind of deviate a little bit from what seems to be the most popular stuff, but I don't know. I'm just hoping for someone to just give the Grauer more of a go in competitive and be like, we can make this work. Just that one attachment makes the biggest difference. And like that could be the case. And it sort of seems to be the same way here in Warzone. Like if the Bruin didn't have that 60 mag attachment, would it be anywhere near as devastating as it is currently?
I think it would be mostly fine. And people might disagree. There's probably varying opinions on that. But I don't mind like the time to kill on LMGs being fast. Like LMGs should be powerful, right? Like they should be strong. You just shouldn't be able to jump around, slide around, move around like you've got an AR in your hands. You should feel like a clunky tank, but you don't.
Well, we see Gotaga off to the Gulag. His teammates will try to finish off this fight for him. We here at Twitch Rivals are going to step away for just a little bit, but the competition keeps rolling. You can go check out their streams if you want to see the action uninterrupted. We'll be right back on Twitch Rivals.
Je le vois pas, gros.
What? Non, il est sur moi.
En tout cas, il était là quand tu m'as tué.
Il est mort.
Bien joué, Lolo.
J'arrive sur la caisse direct, les gars.
Vas-y.
Prends fantôme.
Vu qu'on fight.
Je me dis que le goulag c'est un kill en plus.
Évidemment. Hein. Là, tu sais qu'au final, c'est plus voir ce que tu dois aller. Hein.
Bah ouais, mais en fait, j'ai pas de seconde chance pour plus tard.
Ouais, ça c'est sûr. Je peux reprendre les plates si je veux.
Les cons, ils m'avaient pas looté. J'ai un drone encore, les gars.
Ok, bah je prends Autoria, ouais, je pense.
On a Jean Camion ici, je vais te chercher.
Si t'as un drone, en vrai, mets-le pour qu'on sache dans quelle direction on va.
Hein. Ouais. T'as un peu, j'attends, gros. Je me rapproche du camion.
Mais là, parce que moi, je suis open field. Hein. S'il y a des mecs dans le hangar, je suis mort.
J'ai un mec là, moi, c'est tout. J'ai un mec ici. Ah, je vais aller dessus, j'ai que
3
ça.
points.
Moi je vais.
On va se chercher Lolo. Faut qu'on. Vas-y, il faut qu'on se split, quitte à se réa, c'est pas bien grave. Hein.
Moi vers l'aéroport, il y a pas mal. Oh, ils viennent de prendre leur classe.
Les 3 points ils ont disparu, c'est moi.
Je vois plus, ouais. Je pense qu'ils étaient point vert, hein, 100%.
Vous êtes quoi, reprendre un drone? Normalement, quand je vous le dirai, je suis preneur.
Ouais, t'as assez chaud.
Descends ici, frérot, quand même. Non?
Ouais. À ma droite. Ça shot devant moi là. Je sais pas où ça exactement, je sais pas. J'ai entendu tirer genre plus loin.
Je fais là-bas.
Sur moi. Dans mon bas, il y a du mort.
C'est un truc de malade, ton truc.
Attends, son.
Peut-être
Mort,
encore
j'ai des
un sur
bons joueurs sur moi.
Viens Lolo, on va l'aider.
Yes, coming.
Il me cherche, il me traque.
On arrive, le plus vite possible.
Si je meurs, je vais essayer d'en emporter un avec moi.
Vas-y.
J'ai tiré dans le dos, chaud, fais des droites gauche.
C'est bon.
Ils sont sur mon toit.
On en a pour 35 secondes encore, au moins. Nice, bien joué Gotha.
Ah, au même endroit, putain.
Il est sorti droit.
Ah, l'autre qui est sur moi, sur mon cadavre. C'est le dernier.
Le challenge, je suis pas bien.
Il est
Crac,
gigalo.
crac, 5 HP gros.
Il est re-rentré. Il est dedans.
Ouais, il run.
Sur moi.
Non.
Il repart dehors. Il est genre là, au point rouge, quasiment. Pierre, je vous sais, il fait un tas de l'argent.
All right, we just showed you guys like 3 minutes of advertisements, and this fight is still going for our French squad. We're on board with Lowen.
Yeah, Lowen's fine for now. I love Lowen's like purple vibe he's got going. Oh wow, he made that shot work.
Voiture qui t'arrive dessus, je vous sais.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, no. There's not much to make it work. It just pumps and dumps. Like that thing is insane. Like it. As floor loot in Superstore, I mean, it's good. It can be good like anywhere. I've never really used it as a secondary, as like a primary, like he has. He has a custom one, but it will 2-tap you at full HP. It's disgusting, and there's no MP5. I don't even know what to compare it to. Like it might even kill faster than like the snake shot Akimbo's did. It's absolutely nuts.
Like in their prime?
Yeah, I mean those I think. Well, they would 2-shot as well, but this shoots faster. The difference of the snake shots is they were better at like medium range, whereas this has a big damage fall. Obviously, you got to spray it and hit them 4 or 5 times. But at close in your face range, nothing touches it. It's absurd.
So here's the other shotgun for me that is just the worst pickup in the game is the VLK. Like that is without a shadow of a doubt the most useless piece of weaponry outside of maybe the shield turret in Warzone.
Well, I was actually confused because the last the season 4, it was floor loot in Superstore, and I guess it was slug rounds, so you had to ADS with it, otherwise you wouldn't hit anything, and it was like the worst thing of all time. But then it came out, it was in the most recent Gulag, and I thought it was that again. So I'm like ADSing around, thinking I have to. This guy jumps around a corner and hip fires me from a mile away and kills me. I didn't realize it was just a regular VLK, and I learned my lesson very quickly.